Hello traders, welcome back to Trading with Bill. You can always find me at tradingwithbill.com. Just come visit my website, take a look. It's got a good nice economic calendar, it's got some data on there. I do post the video and I do a currency pair every day, total review, and a trade plan, which of course you also see in the video. Traders, great to be with you. Coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue, sunny skies, nice breezy day today, and sunny. Absolutely gorgeous today out of Thailand. Getting ready for the London Open in 2 hours, so we're going to try to get this video up and to you so you got something to look at for today. But before we do that, if you would, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday, and I'm your moderator. Well, I'm Bill, so I guess trading with Bill, I should be Bill. But I am your moderator, and I'll be talking to you through the process. I started trading in the year of 2006. 2008, I retired from a wonderful career in the Fire Rescue Department out of the great state of Florida. 9 days later, came to Thailand for a 3-month vacation. Well, traders, it's 2015, and I'm still here, and I'm having a great time. Love trading Forex and options on a daily basis. It's a challenge. It's fun, especially now with everything that's going on around the globe. It is definitely a challenge. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Anyhow, I started trading in 2006. I've been trading ever since. I trade every day. I'm looking for probabilities and opportunities to get into trades where the probabilities are on my side to win the trade. And no, traders, I do not win every single trade. If anybody ever tells you that, please run in the other direction because they're lying to you. Nobody wins every trade. We try to do our best. We don't win every trade. All right, let's get the legal stuff out of the way real quick here, and that is Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risk and be willing to accept them in order to trade in the Forex market. This is probably one of the most important line in the whole thing is traders do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. You're going to lose trades, and that's just the fact of life. Always remember that past performance of any trading system and methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results, meaning if you're on a demo account and you go to a live account, you will see a difference in your trading statistics. Wins versus losses, because unfortunately the thing between our ears called the brain gets in the way of what we want to do. So let's go over and let's take a look at our first chart today. We have 3 charts we're going to look at today. We can try to keep our videos short while we do this. They'll get longer as time goes on. I'm still working on NinjaTrade has not gotten back to me reference my text issue, but at least I'm able to get a border around it now so you can actually see what's going on. This is the Aussie dollar, and before we get to the Aussie dollar, just let me make a couple comments. And one is a Greece situation. You know, I thought this was over after the vote on Sunday where, you know, they voted and everything was fine. They had the agreement, and, well, it goes to, I guess, the Greek parliament today, and it's probably not going to pass. The Prime Minister's own party is like against this. If you remember the vote that they had on Sunday last week, 62.7% of the people of Greece did not want austerity measures and didn't agree to it. Well, they went back to the table, and the austerity measures are more difficult and harder now than they were on the first set of austerity measures. So he's got some issues, the Prime Minister, where I don't think he has the votes in Parliament to pass anything. So I don't think this is going to work. His energy minister came out yesterday and said he was totally against this proposal and basically didn't want anything to do with it. And you can see where I put data release candle. Well, that was this morning. That was China's data came out. China had some data come out, and they had some good data, and that's why you see that big green candle. But going back to Greece, it's going to be a very interesting situation because I don't think they're going to get what they want. And I think we're going to be in this mess for a while. And the problem is it's making our trading very, very difficult. Because once one of them peoples get on a microphone, I call them wobbleheads. And I have to tell you, I didn't come up with that. A friend of mine did. But once one of them gets on a microphone and says something, there's a pretty good chance that the market's going to swing 40 or 50 pips against one way or another, and hopefully not against you and with you, but it will eventually get us. And, you know, I think I've only done like 3 trades in like 2 weeks because of this Greece situation and data that's just popping out daily. And I really encourage you to get a news feed, whether it's a free news feed or a paid news feed. I recommend trade the news. I can do that because this is my website. It's my video. But I recommend trade the news. They're not cheap. They're $185 a month, but they're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And as soon as something comes out, they're on it. I mean, you don't miss a trick. When data comes out, it comes out, and it's right on time. It's right away. No delays, no nothing. It's a great service. I've been with them, I think, from 2007 or 2008 I started with Trade the News, and I've had them ever since. So been with them a long time, and they're a great service. And of course, you can see I absolutely love trading on NinjaTrader charts, and I recommend you take a look at that if you're interested in trading on NinjaTrader charts. So let's take a look at the trade plan here for the Aussie dollar. I am not bullish in the Aussie. Okay, I am not bullish in the Aussie dollar. It's bearish. If you look at a daily chart, it's bearish. I have no intentions of buying the Aussie dollar. So my trade plan is I want this, the green line on my chart is a 200 exponential moving average. So I want this basically to drop down here and get down below this 200 exponential moving average, and then come down to that gold line, which is a Globex line, or R2. And, you know, we can take profit in either one of those areas, whichever one you feel comfortable at. And those are some good take profit areas. You can see left of the chart, there's a lot of junk left of the chart there, and that's what I look for. I look for what's going on left of the chart, because left of the chart is going to tell you where you're going to find bounces. Of course, we love trading in wide open spaces, and I'll show you when we get to a chart where we have some nice wide open spaces why we want to trade that. Now, this trip down to our entry at 0.7441 is not going to be easy. The only thing that's in our favor is that we have a lot of data today. We have data all day today. We had China news. We had good news out of Australia today with their vehicle sales came out positive. China industrial production came out positive. It was forecasted at 6.0. It came out at 6.8. So that was good stuff. Low impact news was retail sales. It was supposed to come out at 10.2. It came out at 10.6. However, the Japanese is supposed to have monetary policy statement. It was supposed to come out 2 or 3 hours ago. I have not heard anything about it. And then we're expecting a BOJ press conference, and you know they never give a time when they're going to do that, and they just throw that at us. So we have a full calendar of events. We got a lot of pound news coming out, average earnings index, and then we have climate count change today, high impact. We have the Eurogroup meeting going on today. And in the New York session, we are filled with data also. And if we could just get down here, we've got a lot of CAD news. We've got BOC monetary policy report, a rate statement, an overnight rate statement, and then in the U.S. session also, we have good old Auntie Yellen. Yes, our good old chairwoman, Auntie Yellen, speaks today. She testifies today. And then later in the New York day, sometime during the day, they don't give a time, New Zealand has its GDT price index. I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. And then the Bank of Canada has a press conference at 11:15 in the morning, New York time. So quite a lot of data coming out today, and the reason I bring that up during this currency pair is because this currency pair is the most vulnerable to data, right? It's a commodity pair, and it's going to react to data. These candles did not come out because they had a good number on vehicle sales last month. This number came out because of China, and I don't know if you know this, but China and Australia are big import-export partners. They do a lot of business together. I mean, a huge amount of business together. So they're very close and they're very tight, and that's why we got this reaction. So that's what's going on with this. I want to sell this below the 200 exponential moving average. And patience is, you get rewarded for it, and we'll just wait for this to come down. And I have no problem with it. If you want to counter trend trade this to the downside, just be careful. If you haven't counter trend traded before, do it on a demo account till you get good at it. It is a skill, that's for sure. All right, let's take a look at, this is the Euro USD. Not a lot of price action. Not a lot of price action. These are 30-minute candles. You can see today has basically been a pretty dull day. Had a little bit of movement yesterday, not much, but today's been absolutely flat. Again, this needs to pull back up. I want to see this come back up to 1.0 1045, which is a 200 exponential moving average, and I'll look to sell at that point. We'll take profit at a support line just above 1.095960, somewhere in that area. We'll look to take profit. Really easy trade plan. We're just looking for the pullback. I really don't want to sell where it's at because of why. Well, that you remember what that gold line is on that chart? That is our Globex line, and there's a good chance this is not going to get to that. It's not going to get above that without something to push it. Now, there's plenty of data in the London session to do that. So I think this trade's going to work. It's just going to take us a little bit of time to get into it, and we'll get that through. So the euro dollar looks like, it's got a good trade. We're bearish in the euro dollar. We've been bearish in the euro dollar for over a year and a half now. So I'm not changing. Still going to stay bearish in the euro dollar. I think probably within 6 to 8 months, it'll probably be at parity. it'll be worth $1. So that's what's going on with the euro dollar. Not a hard trade plan, very easy. Not a lot of work on that one. All right, let's keep going. This is the pound dollar. This is a really interesting pair today. I am thinking that this big green candle, well, we know it's a news data candle. I think this is when the energy minister from Greece made a statement. I'm not sure, but I think that's where that came from. Don't quote me on that. Like I said, I'm really not sure, but this just moved up a lot of pips, like over 100 pips here, and it just continued to the upside into New York. Then we had the inactive session, and then we went into Asia, and it's been flat ever since. Well, we're at resistance now, so we know as traders that we don't want to buy resistance, right? We want this pullback. So I placed a Fibonacci tool on the chart, and you can see the two magenta arrows and the two green arrows. So at the 61.8, if I had a bullish candlestick formation at that point, I'd be more than happy to take that to the upside. Or the 50% level, I would be more than happy to take that to the upside. And that's at R2 also. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. So that's what I'm looking at for the pound. This has really changed the momentum of the pound. The pound's been bearish for a while, and this has really put a kick in its pants. So we're going to be pretty curious to see how this works throughout our trading day. Again, this needs to give us a pullback, and we know from previous history that the pound does not like to give us a pullback. So we're just going to wait and be patient and see what happens. Now, what can happen is you can draw a horizontal line at resistance, and if it breaks it and then comes back down and retests it, well, now that's a support line, right? And then you can take it up from there. So that's a possibility we might end up being in that situation. I don't think so, because if you look at the candles right now, they're pretty lackluster candles, and I think we'll get our pullback this time, and we'll be able to take this back to the upside. Or, I used to hate this, when moderators used to say, well, it also can just drop, right? This thing could just drop all the way back down to 54.70, right? All the way down to, the bottom of that big green candle. So, that's a possibility too. This can go back to being bearish. However, you got to trade what's in front of us, and what's in front of us is a bullish chart, and we're just going to fly with that and see how it works. That wraps up our 3 currency pairs. Traders, we haven't gotten any option trade charts up yet. I have to tell you the truth. I went to trade New York yesterday, get some options, and what do you think happens? My air conditioning breaks. So I had to leave my room, and of course I could not bring my computer with me, so I don't have any options charts for you today. But as soon as we get an option trade in there, you will be the first to know, I promise you. Traders, thank you for joining me. Trading with Bill, tradingwithbill.com. Come and visit. And thanks a lot. And always send me a suggestion. You can always go to my website, leave me a comment, suggestion, something you might want to go over, you might want to see more of, less of, anything you want to change. This is me and you, so we can do anything we want, right? There's nobody else telling us what we have to do. We can change things, and we can do things. So again, thanks traders for joining me. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate that. And you can also follow me on Twitter at WKG1960. And I do tweet a lot, by the way, so you can follow me on Twitter. All right, folks, have a great trading day. Always remember to trade safe and not hard, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.